Hi everybody, it's Richard here again and welcome to the first of my videos showing my complete vinyl collection. It's going to take many videos and here is the actual collection that I have to get through. So I'm going to show warts and all, and as you can see in one of those photographs there's a section missing in the last photograph, and this is the ones that I'm going to show today. So starting off with the miscellaneous, which is A to Z, rather than just do the David Bowies, which are all sort of stored separately. We'll start off with A. So I'll try and race through these. So we have Aha, Hunting High and Low. Very good album actually, with good singles like Take On Me and The Sun Always Shines on TV. Next one is ABC and The Lexicon of Love. It's a good album, but I think the four singles off it are the best by a long shot. The Look of Love, Poison Arrow, Tears Are Not Enough and All of My Heart. Produced by Trevor Horn, of course. Next up is AC/DC, Let There Be Rock, with a whole lot of Rosie on it. I've played this a few times but I don't know it that well, but it's still a good album. And then another AC/DC album, and Power Age, and this was gifted to me by James Griffiths VCLT of a couple of years ago, and this is one of the better ones as well. The third one is Highway to Hell. Yes, 3 AC/DC albums, and this is good, apart from I think it's the very last song, which is too bluesy, but it's still a very good album. And then we have, of course, Back in Black, which is possibly the best. I think my favourite song of all time from AC/DC is You Shook Me All Night Long, but it's a good album. And next up we have Bryan Adams, Reckless, and this is riddled with hit singles like Heaven, Somebody, Run to You, and one of the songs is Kids Wanna Rock, which is one of my favourites, which I don't think ever was a single. Next up we have Adam and the Ants and Family of Noise. Now this is a bootleg of demos from around the 1978 period, which he would later record and use as B-sides of some of his big hit singles. And we have then obviously Dirk Wears White Socks, the Adam and the Ants album from 1979. And then the reissue from 1983 with a slightly different track listing and obviously a different cover. The best album of the 1980s for me, and it's Kings of the Wild Frontier with Amp Music, the title track, and Dog Eat Dog. Prince Charming, a very underrated album. I think this is great, with Stand Deliver, Prince Charming, Scorpios, Picasso Visits the Planet of the Apes. And then his first solo album, Friend or Foe, with Goody Two Shoes, which is not the same as the single version, but it's a really good album. I love the title track. And then Strip from 1983, which has Puss in Boots and Strip on it, which features vocals from Frida of ABBA, so I'm obviously going to like that. And then his glammiest album, Vive la Rock, produced by Tony Visconti, and this has got the title track, Apollo 9, Hell's 8 Acres, POE, really good album. And then there's the hits album from around 1986, which features all the hit singles from Kings of the Wild Frontier up to Vive la Rock, but unfortunately it doesn't include the actual single version of Goody Two Shoes. It puts on the album version for some reason. And then we have his worst album from 1990, and it's Manners and Physique, and this is a completely different sound. It's more of a dance type sound to it rather than that sound, but it's not great. And then the next one is, I can never get this right, Adam Ant is the Blue Black Hussar and Marion the Gunner's Daughter. It's a double album. It's a very good album, but it's very badly produced. But this came out in 2013, around the time that I saw him live. Next up is The Adventures, and this is just called The Adventures. They're a band from Northern Ireland, and well, it wasn't a big hit, but the song I love off this, and I have the 7-inch single as well, is Feel the Raindrops. It's not a bad album. Here we go, warts and all, the best of Air Supply, all out of love, lost in love, and making love out of nothing at all. It's cheesy, but it's okay. I very rarely play it. And this one here is The Alarm, and this is called, well, Change, and I've never actually played this, and it says here includes free single, which the single is in there, so I must really give this a listen to, because I have the single, Where Were You Hiding When the Storm Broke, which I really like, but never actually played it. And what's this? Oh right, the sensational Alex Harvey Band, and Big Hits and Close Shaves, and I played this once and I thought it was absolute garbage. Sorry, I know Ian likes sensational Alex Harvey Band. Altered Images and Happy Birthday. Very dark album apart from the title track, but really good. Very Susie and the Banshees type, believe it or not. And then you have the sort of bubblegummy Pinky Blue, which is brilliant as well. And then the very sophisticated Bite, which is my favourite album of '83. Absolutely love this. Bring Me Closer, Love to Stay, Don't Talk to Me About Love. Half of this was produced by Tony Visconti and half by Mike Chapman, two brilliant producers. And then we have like a greatest hits, Reflected Images, is it called? No, it's Collected Images, and this is just really all the singles, and it's really excellent album. Next up is The Animals, and I think nearly everybody has this compilation on Music for Pleasure. It's the most of the Animals, House of the Rising Sun, Bring It On Home to Me, Let the Good Times Roll. It's a decent enough album. I know they're bluesy, but I don't mind some of their songs. So I'd never actually seen that on the original label. I've only ever seen it on Music for Pleasure. And then we have the Archies and Sugar Sugar, and this is not actually a bad album. I love the title track. I think it's one of the top 100 singles of all time. There, I've said it, Sugar Sugar by the Archies. The Associates and Sulk, and this is the one with Party Fierce 2 on it, and Club Country, and yeah, I love Hangover as well as on this. Very good album. The next one is Associates, and this is called Perhaps, and I bought this a couple of years ago, played it about twice, and it's okay, but it's not as good as the Sulk album. The Association, and I bought this. This is actually a really good album. I bought this blind, and 60s material, but it's very well constructed, good songs, bit of a Beach Boys vibe to it as well, but good album. Bad Manners, this one is the height of Bad Manners, and basically this is just the greatest hits, and it's a brilliant greatest hits. It's got them all. But it's 16 songs on it, but it's on the Telstar label for some reason. I don't know why it's not on Magnet, but good album. I've always loved Can Can. I really like their version of the classical piece, but you get Special Brew, Lip Up Fatty, Lorraine, Walking in the Sunshine. Really good album. Bauhaus, the singles, 1981 to 1983. And the big one off this is Ziggy Stardust, She's in Parties. Unfortunately this here is actually scratched to high heaven, so I might as well just throw it out. It was very cheap. And then a recent one, The Beach Fossils, which was Rob Walker recommended this, and it is a very good album. It's from 2023. Very soothing album. The Beat, I Just Can't Stop It, their debut album, excellent. And then What Happened, which is not quite as good, but it's still not a bad album at all. I think this is from around 81 or 2. And then you have What Is the Beat, which is like a greatest hits album, which is probably the best of the lot. And then Welcome to the Beautiful South, brilliant album from 1989. And the next Beautiful South is Choke. And that's all I have on the Beautiful South in vinyl. This album is not as good as the previous one. We're getting down rightly. Next up is Big Audio Dynamite and number 10 Uppingham Street. And the weird thing, whenever I bought this, I didn't realise it, but half the songs are actually Strummer Jones songs. So Joe Strummer has co-written quite a few of the songs off this, and it's not a bad album, pardon the pun. So it's the only Big Audio Dynamite I actually have. Next up is Big Country and The Crossing, absolutely brilliant album from 1983. I think this is a Canadian pressing, and the British pressing I have is on the green cover. There is a red cover as well, which I have on CD, but I think Stevie's vinyl cover has got the red version. Big Country again, Steel Town. It's a decent follow up to The Crossing, but it's not as good. Big Country again, The Seer, and this is the one that has, I think, Kate Bush on one of the tracks, the title track. It's not a great album at all. It's got one great thing on it which I do like, and then Peace in Our Time, Big Country, which I picked up for peanuts, and I don't think I have actually ever played it. So a few more. Big Country again, Through Big Country, which is basically a greatest hits, and you know, it's argued that it's really all you need. Black Sabbath, believe it or not, I have a Black Sabbath album, and it's the debut, and I do actually quite like this, but I prefer this one, which is the greatest hits, and that's my Black Sabbath collection, which is not bad for me. Blancmange, Happy Families, debut album from 1982, really good album with Living in the Ceiling and Waves on it. And Blancmange again, Mange 2, and this is the one with Don't Tell Me and The Day Before You Came, and That's Love That It Is, and Blind Vision. It's a very good album as well. And the last one I'm going to show today is Blancmange and their third album, and it's Believe You Me, and this is not as good, although it does have What's Your Problem on it, and a beautiful little song called Lorraine's My Nurse. Okay, so that's the first batch, so it's A to B, L, and the next batch will be coming up quite soon. Hope you enjoyed that. All the best now, bye bye.